Morning, morning vinyl community. Steve Whitty again. It's the second attempt to record this video. I tried yesterday, and for some problem reasons, YouTube weren't playing ball with it. I suspect because it might have been a tad too long, so I'm going to cut out the chit chat. So just to say how everything is with you. I'm enjoying my week off. Last night I went and saw Sid Arthur, supported by the Mother Earth Experience. Great band. Enjoyable gig. Well worth, and I'm going to see if I can get hold of the Sid Arthur album. So this is my latest finds. More charity shop finds. These are definitely charity shop finds. And in one of my previous videos, I mentioned about a band called Lindisfarne. I'd bought a single. Well, I've managed to find some albums of theirs. This one is it's called Finest Hour, which is a greatest hits collection. It came out in Charisma in 1975. At this point, Lindisfarne had split up. Some of the members formed a band called Jack the Lad. Others went, like Alan Hall, went solo. It didn't get them very far. So eventually they came back together for some Christmas gigs at Newcastle City Hall, which is, as they're from Newcastle, quite a big deal. And recorded in these gigs became an annual event. Recorded in 1977. This is a live album from one of these gigs, Magic in the Air. As live albums go, this is great. It is absolutely stonking. The crowd are an extra band member, and you get the crowd go along with it. You know, it just makes the experience so much better. Great album. It's definitely worth checking out. At this time they'd signed to Mercury, so it came out on the Mercury label. And then to complete my Lindisfarne collection is their 1979 album, The News. At this point, in 1978 had a surprise hit single with Run for Home, and it may look like things were getting better for them. Sadly, it was their last hit single. This album's not great, to be quite honest. Produced by Gus Dudgeon, I think. Yes. Oh no, not Gus Dudgeon. I know he recorded Run for Home. Sorry about that. I'd say not a great album. It is a promotional copy. They're still going. I think there's a couple of members still keep going. I know Paul Thompson, ex of Roxy Music's drumming with them, being from Newcastle himself. So yeah, it's worth checking out. Definitely for a bit of prog with a bit of folk into it. Talking of prog with folk, this is Magna Carta and Lord of the Ages. It released on the Vertigo label. It's quite a difficult album to get to. I must admit, it will take me a couple of listens to see if I can get onto it. I don't know how popular they were at the time, but yeah, it's very. I have to say, it's not a personal favourite. I probably, if I said, buy an album of choice, it wouldn't have been. But because it was going for £1, I thought, well, I'll have it, and it's in good nick, and it plays well. It may be an album I get to love. A band that I do love is Magnum. Now, in the late 80s, a record company called Castle Collection put together 2 albums in one. So this is a double album. The first album is Vintage Magnum, which came out in 1986, which is a bit of a compilation of some live recordings, some outtakes. 1986 Magnum they'd split up and they'd come back together and started to be popular. And this is why I think that particular Vintage Magnum was a bit of a cash-in. The 11th Hour was released in 1983, and this was the last album they released before they initially split up on Jet Records. The reason I was quite surprised to find this, because I do remember these coming out. There's 2 CDs, a double CD set. I didn't realise that they were like albums. So I was quite pleased to pick this up. As I said, I've always loved Magnum. Seen them a couple of times. So I get their emails regularly to see what they're doing. So yeah, it's good to see that Birmingham band still keep going. Write great songs. very melodic. I think it's the best way to describe them. Very melodic. I wouldn't call them metal, melodic rock. Now, I do like prog rock, and my love of it stems not from the early 70s. I only became a teenager in 78, so that's when punk new wave was in. So that's what I initially started to listen to. It was 1982, and it was this band, Marillion. There was a prog had started to rear its head in 1982, and Marillion were like the poster boys for this new movement. Market Square Heroes, 12-inch, was their first single, and they drew a bit unfair comparisons to Genesis at the time. That is partly because the lead singer Fish, and he was frontman. He's 6'7". He sounded like Peter Gabriel at that point, and he also was doing the monologues in between songs, so everyone just put two and two together, and as usual, they made five. I think it was mostly unfair. So you got 3 tracks on this 12-inch, Market Square Heroes, 3 Boats Down from the Candy on side 1, and their epic track at that time, which was a song called Grendel, which is based on the Tales of Beowulf, which is apparently the first English literature novel, which stems back to Anglo-Saxon times. Make of that what you will. It's a manufacturer's property, not for sale, whatever that means. I'd be interested to know that, because somebody must have given it away when they shouldn't have done, but happy to pick that up because I used to own it. Was a big fan of Marillion at the time. I'm still a fan. Another 12-inch of theirs I picked up was Assassin. This is a single off their Fugazi album. By far the best track on the Fugazi album. This has got the full version, where the 7-inch single will be a bridge version. Yeah, I found it difficult to follow up the second album, Marillion, but the sound was evolving. I enjoyed it, but they really took on a head of steam when they released this single, Kaylee. It broke them big time in the UK. Got to number 2 in the singles charts. The album Misplaced Childhood became a number 1 album, and they were riding on the crest of a wave at that point. It's a great song, and by that time, the comparisons to Gabriel had gone, quite rightly. I know there's so much nonsense in my life. They followed up Kaylee with Lavender. This became a top 5 single in autumn of 1985. And the girlfriend at the time said, "Oh, it sounds like lavender blue dilly dilly." And I thought, yeah, but I can see that point. A good single. Sadly, I think the success didn't weigh too well with the rest of the band. I think Fish loved being the focal point. Lead singers tend to be the focal point. And I think he quite enjoyed having all that attention. And I think it didn't sit well with the rest of the band. Sadly, the cracks started to appear, and you saw that with the Clutch and the Straws album, which was released in 1987. And then, sadly, Fish left the band in 1988. I think it was a mutual part in the ways. I think they've just grown apart. I think it's just one of those. Marillion is still going from strength to strength. Fish is still going. I think they did get back together for a charity gig in Aylesbury some years ago. And I always loved Marillion. I loved that period of Marillion. I thought they would be great. Just a great band. Moving on. Someone that played the first Glastonbury Festival, Melanie. This is her. Let's see what this album's called. It's just got a thing called Melanie. It's all released on Buddha Records. It features the song Lay Down, Ruby Tuesday, which was a very big hit for her in the UK. Covered the Rolling Stones song, and Look What They've Done to My Song Ma, which I think she had a slight hit with it, but it was covered by the New Seekers, if I remember rightly. So yeah, not bad album. It plays well. I was quite surprised to pick that one up. And now for something completely different. The Worst of Monty Python's Flying Circus, released on BBC Records. This came out in 1970. Python had done a couple of series by then. You've got all the well-known stuff, the flying sheep. You've got the barber, which actually morphs into the lumberjack song, and you've got the pet shop, which of course morphs into the parrot sketch. Classic sketches on here. They always make me smile. Sad to hear about Terry Jones's illness. We all get old, I suppose. Next up, and this sort of completes my early Moody Blues collection. Every good boy deserves favour. I've prattled along about Moody Blues enough. I enjoyed that album. It's a good album. It just sort of matches in well with the rest of them. This is my first 10-inch single record. It's a 10-inch single. Shrink Wrap is barely hanging off it. This is Souvenir by Orchestra Manoeuvres in the Dark, which was the lead single from their Architecture and Morality album. By far their best album. And it's just a great single. And I was surprised to find this. This was going to get chucked out. I don't think the charity shop realised what they got, so I'm happy to pick this up. You know, it's not worth too much value wise, but just a great single. I was happy to pick that one up. And finally, whizzing through here, another one of these collector series albums. This is Pentangle, the collection. Now this is a collection of tracks, some live, some studio. They're a classic folk rock band of the late 60s. What band? You could not fail to have the talents of Jackie Machee on vocals, Danny Thompson on bass. You got the guitars of Bert Jansch and John Redbourne, and then you got Terry Cox on drums, and all different influences just moulded together. It's excellent. The nearest they had to a hit single is a song called Light Flight, and it was used as the theme from a drama series called Take Three Girls, which came out in 1969, I think. Pentangle. What was it? Pleasing again. I found this on vinyl. And I paid pennies for it, and it's apparently it's worth a little bit more than that. So, not that I'm a dealer or anything like that. These are I buy records purely for my own entertainment, my own enjoyment. So, I hope this video works this time. So, I hope you're all doing well. I certainly enjoy my week off work. I'm going to do a little bit more vinyl hunting for the rest of the week. A few little odds and sods around the house, around the flat. Tidied up the records a little bit so they look a bit more presentable, a little more in order. So, enjoy the rest of your week. I might do another video on Friday. I might not. It depends how I feel. But until then, you take care. Oh, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and put your comments. I really have enjoyed the comments I've received from John Bellamy and et al. Really, and Jared. I just really have enjoyed those comments. And just interaction is great, and I just, really appreciate it. We appreciate you take the time to do it because there's so many videos out there. So until next time, take care. Enjoy the rest.